Thanks, artists. Today we are going to start working on an intuitive drawing based on the artwork by the artist named Hans Arp. This is one of his pieces here. It was called an intuitive collage. And what he would do as a fine artist, like an artist who was going to be exhibited in museums, whose artwork was worth a whole lot of money, he would tear up little pieces of paper, just throw them on his canvas, and glue them wherever they landed. So he was basically saying that, chance could have a large part to do with your artwork, that it didn't necessarily have to be all planned out. This is examples of kind of what we're going to be creating with our intuitive drawing. So I am going to get us started. Let me pull my webcam up here. All right. So the very first thing we're going to do, we will need for this project a piece of paper. We'll need a piece of string or yarn, some glue. Later, we'll need a skinny Sharpie or pen. And then we'll need something to add color with, whether it's crayons or colored pencils, paint, you decide. So the first step is I've got my string or yarn in some glue. And if my glue is kind of thick, I might want to add a tiny bit of water. I want it to be so that I can manipulate my string. So as I pull my string out, I'm going to kind of slide my finger down it and make sure it's coating the string really well. And I'm just going to I can guide the string a little bit, but mostly I'm going to let it just land wherever it lands. I've got a pretty long piece of string, and I just kind of let it go where it wants to go. And then the only other thing I'm going to do on this step is just kind of tap it, because in some of the spots my string was standing up from the paper, and I want to make sure that it's making contact so that as it dries, it's actually glued to the paper. That is step one, and now it's just going to be waiting until my glue is dry. I have another piece that I created yesterday so that I can just pull it out and move on to the next step. But you're going to want to let yours dry for probably the rest of the day after you lay your string down before you move on to the next step. Now, this next part is almost kind of like a journal or a diary. I'm just going to look at my layout and I'm going to start just writing whatever words come to my head. So I could write just in sentences, like complete sentences or thoughts. I could write single words. It's really up to me. So I'm just going to kind of look at the way things are laid out, writing within those spaces. I might add patterns or designs. It's really up to me. I might come up here and say, today is a great day. And then I might say why. So just kind of journaling on my paper, letting the thoughts just guide me. It was sunny and the birds were singing. Now, if your day is not a great day, you're welcome to say that. Again, this is just whatever comes to your head. You are just letting your thoughts guide you in your art. There was a breeze. And then, again, I might also just do some patterns or designs. Just going to fill this space in with circles and ovals. It's really up to me what kind of patterns or designs I create, and where my pen guides me. I'm just going to keep it moving, keep it going, and then see where that takes me. I'm going to say I went for a walk. It was calm. My dog was not calm. Again, I'm just writing whatever comes to my head. So I'm just going to start really filling those spaces with words, with sentences, with patterns. my goal is to have some sort of wording, word, pattern, design in each space. And you'll notice as I was working, I was kind of turning my paper, so my text and the things that I'm saying are going to go all different directions. So I want to make sure I really get the space filled well. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to kind of add a little spiral design, and then I'm going to add some op art. So that each segment will kind of pop off my page. And yours absolutely does not need to look like mine. I want you to be guided by whatever is happening in your head right now, what you're feeling in your heart. Just like Hans Arp, we are going to leave this to chance. We don't need to draw things in pencil first and then come back and Sharpie it. We just want to let the Sharpie or the pen take us where it wants to take us. And we'll just see what happens on our paper when it's completed. All right, I'm not going to finish adding my patterns because I don't want to waste your time, but just remembering that in the end, we want the whole space to be filled, every single area to be filled with some sort of pattern, sentences, words, just something to really get it to pop off the page. Once I've added a pattern or design in each space, then I'm going to start adding color. I'm going to use crayon because with crayon I can really add value. I can press hard and add a dark value, and then I can go in and I can lighten up, press medium and light to add medium and lighter values. So I could go into each of my sections and just really make them pop off the page by pressing dark, medium, and light on my paper. Color this last area over here. In the end, I'm going to want every section to have some color. So I'm going to use that same basic idea all over the entirety of my paper. Okay, so in the end, my whole space is going to have words, patterns, designs in each section, and then each section is going to get some color added until I am completely filled like these examples. So you'll notice this one is kind of minimalistic in its designs. This one has much more going on. They're both very successful. So just put that pen to the paper and see where your mind and your pen guide you. Happy creating!